Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special edition of For Real Talk with the Lady Queen of Love and these gentlemen.
Oh my God, did you call these young men gentlemen?
And the gentlemen.
Oh, I do what? Aaron says that guy. But what are you saying out here?
Superman.
Oh, yeah, Superman. You know, I've never been referred to that as that.
As what?
Gentleman.
That's what I know. That's what
I
I
like
know.
that, boss. I like that.
So it's going to change everything about
Yeah,
it.
it's going to change everything about it.
Listen.
I'm going to get a little haircut.
Listen, audience. Tonight, I first greet you all. You know how much I love you. You know how much I appreciate you. You know how much I thank God for you all supporting the vision that God has given me. Real talk for real people with real situations. And so tonight, I just want to be real. Aaron says he's that guy, but I'm that lady. I tell you, I'm that lady. If you're looking for real talk, find that lady. They call me the Queen of Love. I talk from experience. What I do it, and I do it, and I do what I do, and I do what I do, and I make it do what it do.
How many times you made it do, Mama?
Yeah, 18 times.
How many?
18 times. I made it do what it do.
18 times?
I made it do what it do, baby.
It must have been real good, Mama.
Well,
Or is it still here?
well, I'm married to a 25, 40, how old am I? 68, my husband's 23. I'm at 43. I think that talks for me right there.
You said it when you get a little old.
Yeah, but my husband good. I told him the day that he started getting old, you know, that's that lady. Right
So
there.
long,
That's
that lady.
That lady. Hey, sing that song. Hit that song. What you just said.
So long, bye-bye.
Hit it.
So long, bye-bye.
And hit it one more time.
So long, bye-bye.
Goodbye
To my pain and my sorrow.
That meant some of these women's are pains and sorrow. Oh, this big, now watch this big husky Jeffro. Here, Jeffro.
So long, bye-bye. Hey, so long, bye-bye. Goodbye to my pain and my sorrow. So long.
And I don't think nobody want to try that, lady. I'm sitting up here with two of my sons right now, my natural sons and one of my spiritual sons. And I'm waiting on some more of the singer guys in the ministry to come tonight. We're in the man cave, man to man. And nothing feminine about this. This is man to man. And most of them is here with their mama, their grandmama, or their spiritual mama. And would you believe I raised just every guy just about that you will see on this stage tonight. And so we just want to talk a few minutes. If I got any lonely queens out there, any queens that's just looking, you need to like and share. Like and let your friends know that we are on. Share and tell everybody to share and share alike, because I'm going to be getting into some stuff tonight that I think you all would like to hear. Now, this is not the apostle. This is the streetologist on this show. This is a woman that comes with street experience. So I'm not coming with the Bible. But now, if it goes that way, we might take it that way. But we're in a 21st century time, 21st century hour, where we have to make things happen. Yes. So what I'm here tonight is to help save and be relational with our men and our women. So tonight, Mr. Herr, what are you look like you've been working on some cars today. Look at your fingernails.
Yes, 3 cars today.
3?
And the building here
For a few minutes. So what would you have to offer? What would you like to say to the audience out there? I know one thing they need to know, that you're separated, but you like sort of black women.
Yes, absolutely. Like dark meat.
Dark meat. Go ahead. But let them know that you know a little about the Bible.
Oh, just a little bit, just enough to get me there, Yes, ma'am. I know what I need to know, and I've learned most of what I know from this young lady right here in the middle. Yes.
Tell them how long you've been with me.
22 years. 22 years. 2001 New Year's Day was the first day with you.
Wow.
So every New Year's Day marks a new year.
Wow.
Not only a new year in my life, but a new year with serving with you.
Let me tell y'all what he did when When he first came to me, he had a wife, beautiful wife, but now she has 2 children. They're divorced. And I think when they got ready to break up, I goes down in the basement in the fellowship hall of the church. That Negro sitting there crying.
What you mean?
He was crying for real.
Real
I say, Negro, if you don't pull out those pink drawers, oh Jesus.
What pink draw mean?
Huh?
I bet they pulled them off. Shoot, I'm that lady. You
That's that lady.
You crying like that to me. But I just love her. You just don't understand. Understand. Negro, you better gird up your loins and let's do something different.
Come on in, man. Come on in.
Gird up your loins. So then, about 6 months after that, you bring another one there with them big knuckles on her toe.
Oh, Lord. Lord.
That's
Mama.
a gigantic toe.
Mama. Who that was?
I can't call no
I
name.
know
I
it.
can't call no name. And I said to Levi, I said, you never get involved with a woman that you cannot take to meet your family. If you're not involved, engaged with a woman that you're ashamed of, or that you cannot introduce to your family, leave it quick. Never get involved with a woman that you can't take home, especially if you know that what kind of people that you have. I'm very choicy.
Very.
Because I don't want I don't want 2-headed grandbabies. I don't want sort of slow LD grandbabies. You know, you have them, but if I had my choice and you bring the woman home and say, no, not her. I look at her fingernails and say, no, son, you don't want that. You know, no, son, listen to me. I'm going to go and see what color. I'm going to see how your dishes look in your house.
Amen.
If she's visiting your house,
Really
I need to know that she know how to make up the bed. I need to know she has orchestrated your clothing. Because if we've been in a relationship 3 months, you already know if she's wifey material.
Go ahead, boss.
So why waste your sperm in something that you're not putting it into that might be your life mate?
Real. That's
You know,
real.
we've been wasting sperms all over this place.
That's real talk.
And all of the sperms that y'all are wasting, the system is beating them up and taking the poor black men that we have, and they taking them and beating them up and shooting them and locking them up.
Yes.
So you all are wasting the sperm on women that you don't see your destiny in.
Wow.
That's the way I see it.
Wow.
You gotta see your destiny in your sperm.
Ooh, that's deep.
Because if you don't and you allow her to get pregnant for you, someone else raises your sperm.
Ooh.
And that's your sperm. It's one thing to have sex, but there has to be a purpose and a destiny in what we're doing.
Yes.
When you lay down now, you got to see purpose. If you don't see purpose in that lady and you don't see destiny in that lady, why are you involved? There has to be some calculation.
That's true. And Mama, that's some real. I was talking to my friend. I was telling her, you know, I couldn't wait for her to meet you. The greatness that you are.
Yes.
I want her to see that where we came from and where we like live. I wish she'd have been in church yesterday.
Wow.
Because you know how to do all things.
Yeah, well, we're going to continue that because we need to be educated. We're taught about the baptism. We're taught about sanctification, but we're not taught about real life, real everyday issues. And that's why we backslide. That's why you find 75% of the church now in a backslidden state of mind because they don't have real facts. If you can get real knowledge, everyday knowledge, you'll never leave God.
Amen.
You will never leave God because you have a balance in who you are and where you're going. You know about the money, you know about the sex, you know about the making love, you know about the screwing.
Well said.
You know, sex and screwing is 2 different things. Right. And making love is the ball game.
That's the ball game?
If you ain't making love, you ain't in the game.
But what does that really like? I'm saying, so can I ask you? Because, you know, I was away a lot and I never had too much of the guidance.
No, you wasn't away a lot. Most of the time you was in prison.
Yeah.
And they need to know that.
Oh, I was.
What God is doing for you now.
That's right. I did 17 years, you know.
Yeah.
And God is really, I just thank God for my apostle, but more so my mother. She's always been there for me. But I've missed a lot of years of your great teaching.
Yeah. And
that's why I crashed and I kicked the cricket. See, and now I've been up under you. So I want you to share with us, for us, me personally, what is the making love thing start?
See, well, you cannot make love until you're in love. You cannot make love until you're in love and have committed yourself because yourself is inward. And inward is what makes love to the outward, to the other person or the mate. So when you first get in the bed with a person, you are screwing. You are screwing. And if you think about it, no matter what all you do with foreplay, that doesn't make you make love. That doesn't make you make love because you're having a lot of foreplay. What a lot of foreplay does is says that you don't have your right sense of ability. Because when you have your right senses of ability, then you won't actually try to do certain things in foreplay, and that's not your life mate or your twin flame.
Oh, wow.
So you have to protect your goodies. And most men don't protect their goodies like most women don't protect theirs. So then what is it to expect once you say, I am in love with you? If you've already gotten it before you fall in love. If she's already given you all of the ecstasies that you like, what are you going to expect when you come down the aisle? Or when she come down the aisle? You go get just tonight what you was getting 3 months ago. But now what if you make that your prize? When it become your prize, you go change this because I'm challenging myself to when I get with my prize. So when I make you my prize, I'm challenging myself. Now I have something to do to make love to you. Now making love starts here and there. You know, it doesn't start with getting under the sheets. I watched a show last night. I never remember the name of it. But the moment that man went into this young boy, went into this older lady, she just laid there and started crying because it was called, in Mississippi, we call patting the rabbit.
Patting the rabbit. What is that? Oh, we never heard of patting the rabbit.
Patting the rabbit. Patting the rabbit. Patting the rabbit means just what I said. Patting.
Wow. Well said.
Y'all don't know what patting the rabbit
Ain't nobody heard that.
Rabbit. Patting the rabbit.
Hey, man, don't listen too much. Hey, listen, baby,
And so, and I asked the man, I say, so have you pet the rabbit yet? And they'll say, no. So I said, well, which rabbit, what color rabbit do you like? And most people say, what color rabbit do you like?
Black.
Black. Right. See, but there are a lot of white rabbits.
Yeah.
So, but if you like black rabbits, you're talking about black women. That's what we call patting the
wow.
rabbit.
Oh, wow.
But
Wow,
it's
well
just
said.
so much.
Never heard of it.
It's so many slangs out there. You know, I'm from Mississippi. You know, there's so many slangs out there. But we've got to learn the value as single man. What would you learn, Ashay, that you've been here with your mom in the last 4 or 5 years that you could say that you have really learned and taken heed to?
But honestly, I think the biggest thing I've gathered is you worked on me the first 3 or 4 years about my aggression.
Yes.
The first 3 or 4 years of being back with, come home when I got out of prison, it was you're too aggressive, you're too rough, calm down. Beat that in me for like 3 or 4 years. I think secondly was my attitude and being more kinder and nicer and patient. You forced it in me that shit. That aggression thing, once I took that out, it has helped me move a lot forward.
Yes.
It has.
It's taking you now into purpose. What happened was you didn't know your purpose.
At all.
Now, can I say this to the audience? When you don't know your purpose, there is no way you can know your destiny. So that's how you end up with the wrong mate, because that means you have no identification. Just because you know that your name is Aaron Powell, or Levi Her, Shay Alexander, that doesn't give you an identity. Identity is when you're willing to change and become. So the greatness now is what? Developing, because you've seen identity. You was able to say, okay, wait a minute, I can't change this. Now you're coming into your purpose more and more and more. And the more that you become in your purpose, the greater you'll get. Then the greater you'll get, you will meet your soul, your twin flame. There ain't no twin. A lot of people get married without marrying their twin flame. And they don't know that. So they marry into the sexuality of it. That's the fun side of it. So, women know what to do. They know if they can work on your head, they can work on your head. So what they do, they work on your head to get in your head. So, but a woman of dignity and integrity will say, no, we're going to leave the head alone until we get some head sense. I need to know where you're going and what you're thinking before I work on your head. Now, when I work on your head, then you can work on my head.
Well said.
Yeah, but it's called headship.
Headship.
It's called headship. So what happens is there's no headship. There's no teachings. There's no knowledge going forth. Everybody, yeah, we need Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. We need that for salvation. But we need streetology for the natural side of us. Teach me how to be saved. But then also teach me how to be the street woman that I need to be. Because, okay, Shay come in here and marry a woman in the church. All she ever known was what I taught. But here's a Negro coming from the street. She needs some streetology. Or that ain't gonna never ever work with him.
Never.
So they'll say, she over there teaching them folk how to make love. You darn straight.
Right.
I'm teaching you the conversation to have when you're in the bedroom. I'm teaching you the conversation. Now when you meet her, you will know if you see your purpose. And if you don't see your purpose in her, don't date her again. But I'm in love. No, you're not, Negro. You're in a fantasy. So what you were saying?
Well, it's so much. First of all, when it comes to ministry, kingdom, you live this life. This is lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that would be my verse that he put, because I would want a woman, when it comes to being out there and dating woman to woman, as I done, you still want what a big refrain for me is when they're not Christian like. They don't know God, So so do you stay, keep fumbling, or when they that's the difference. Not when it comes to
See, that's what happens is you would know if you stay involved because of the conversation.
Right.
There's going to be a conversation that's going to draw you to them. Not, I don't want to say religiously, but in the Christianity realm. So when there's something about meeting your twin flame. Let me tell you all this. When you meet your twin flame, you have the same conversation. You almost like to eat the same food. You like the same music. You like everything about each other. It just comes together. But when you can't have a decent conversation and everything is not lining up, that is not your twin flame. When you meet the woman of your life, when you meet your purpose and destiny, you all are going to look like twins.
So on the twin. What if they're not? What if they don't meet that though? So
But what happens to the typical man, because he haven't heard the word purpose and destiny?
Can they be molded into that? That person, can they be molded? Can the man? I was raised by an Alpha lady, which is my mother. I am a natural born, not because I want to be or self-proclaimed. I am an alpha male. That is just my DNA. I got it honestly. Can I take or can I mold that person that I'm dating, that I really care about? Can she be molded to be my twin?
Well, what happens is more likely, but a twin flame comes natural. Now watch this. What's missing from your twin flame can be mentored. So there has to be a mentor now that says, okay, you and him are very compatible, but we need to just work on something like this. We need to work on this right here. So, but a man knows when that's his mate. It's a female. Now, females are more emotional. So we fall in love with every man we meet. Men are not as emotional as we are. Okay? So everything to us is love. So what the man has to do is have a balance of who he is. When a man knows who he is, you don't have no more problem. When a man knows who he is, there is no more problem. Because there's no identity crisis. There's no identity crisis. Then the sex changes. Then it goes from sex to it goes from screwing to sex, from sex to romance. You can't have the romance and all of that, the intimacy, until you know, without a doubt. Now, that's not saying you didn't enjoy the sex. I never said that. I never said that. That doesn't make that your twin flame. I'd like to ask y'all a question though. If you had a choice, would you like ghetto love, a Christianity love?
I want ghetto love.
Huh?
Ghetto love.
Ghetto love. Ain't nothing but ghetto love. Christianity love is boring. I don't want no ghetto. You've been trying to get me to Get one of these Christian women forever. I don't know. They boring. They boring. They don't like watch movies.
See, they need to hear this. No. Talk in the camera.
They ain't spontaneous. I be want to stop, pull up old lady out and hit on the side. I want to screw on the side of the road, as Mama was saying. I want to go to the movies and duck off in the bathroom. And I don't want. What are we doing that for? No, I like to hang out. I like to have fun with my old lady. I don't want no Christian woman. They boring.
Okay, well, let's change the word.
Sure.
Let's change the word. Y'all took that. Those Negroes was ready.
Ghetto love, baby.
Ghetto love. That's what I
Ghetto
mean.
love.
Like she can be a Christian with ghetto ethics.
That'll work. But she need to let the ghetto stick out a little buck.
I like that. She need to let the ghetto come out in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Let the Christian come out when we out together.
Christian come out and come to church.
We're at church together.
That's it.
But when you're in the bedroom, you want ghetto.
Absolutely.
You taught us a long time ago, Pastor. You said Jesus ain't gonna rub your booty. You said Jesus ain't gonna rub your booty. I like my back to be rubbed. You know what I'm saying? So I want me some.
But what if she wants her back rubbed?
I rub my baby back all the time. I do. I caress my baby, rub her feet. I do the things you taught me to do, and it's working for me. I promise you, she'll sit over there saying, I like pretty feet, pretty hands. You know, I got a bad feet fetish for that. So I like
feet fetish.
I have a bad feet fetish. So I like to kiss my baby feet and all that stuff.
Why you talking to other women out there?
I'm
Most of them that's watching me is single.
Huh.
Pressure.
Well, I got little Amos here, Apostle Powell's only son. So Amos, what would be your opinion of being single?
Well, I say you be trying to focus on yourself. Get yourself together. Get your things together. Stuff like that.
No, I like that.
Right
So
now,
focus on developing what? Yourself. So when once you have developed yourself, then you're not living in an identity crisis.
Yes.
So then let me tell y'all, come on, son. Let me tell you all what identity crisis does. Y'all can get it. Identity crisis makes you think that you're in love with every woman that you have sex with. Wow. You know, like y'all young boys will feel like you're in love because you've had sex. That is an identity crisis of our young men. When you're supposed to be able to know how to have sex, remain saved, remain loving God, nothing changes in your ministry, and you're able to go back home. So now you're not challenged in who you are. You all are challenged in who you are because you get a little bit. Now you think that's the right one. I want to marry her. I want to live with her the rest of my life. That's why I've been married 4 times. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why we're doing Real Talk, audience. Hit like and share. Tell them that the Queen of Love is on with these young men, and we are really talking. I know we're talking because I am challenging the men at the Wisdom Center. And if you don't have a church home or you like the conversation, you're welcome to fly in and stay over the weekend with us. Stay at the hotel with us. Come and be with us sometime and see how we really do it over here. I believe in educating people, the black men and the black women. I believe in that. It is so vital. And this is what's missing: sexuality, that conversation of relationship. Everybody think they're in love and they think that they've had sex and they think that they are making love and they think that they are romancing, and all of that is missing. And it's missing because there's an identity crisis. The reason most of my boys know about it is when we were living in Palm Beach many years ago, when they were 8, 9, and 10 years of age. I don't know if you remember this, man. What would I go and do?
You tell us about it.
I want y'all to hear this.
Tape and all that, telling us what's what. Hey, now this,
I didn't start now.
Right.
We're talking about way back 25,
yes, ma'am.
Almost 30 years ago. I started training my boys. I said, look, I'm gonna put a video in the VCR, and I want you to. Didn't I say this, ma'am? And I want you to watch it. And watch it and watch it. I would go, at that time, you had to rent movies.
Sex education 101.
Yes.
And I would teach them, if you get a girl pregnant, don't say it ain't yours. I would say, because if you slept with her, it's yours.
It's true.
See, I instill principles in my boys. So now they're afraid to say, Mom, it ain't mine. Did you go there? It was yours.
Don't forget to ask you one time.
Huh?
you told me that as action. I was in a situation that came home. You say something, you said it, and then you turned and said, you said that yours. That should be not, it was 110%. 110%. Even when it came to learning, coming up, and us being young gentlemen back then, when it came to intimacy, relationships, you taught us about even, knowing that woman hygiene, that she could, all that stuff help.
Wow.
Some guys, just, hitting and quitting, they not looking at, hold on, what type of person am I, want in, what I'm saying? So I was very picky. I had someone mad at the things, no. I just want to correct. You know what I'm saying? I want to correct.
Because you that what?
I'm that guy. But it helps, and it took me a long way. You know what I'm saying? So that all it matters. That voice, it matters. I really, that I done got this teaching throughout the years, so it's a big advantage on my end. And I know what I want, and I know what I'm looking for.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Very sure about that.
There you go. Well, Rondez, what would you say to our audience tonight?
Well, first off, good afternoon, Apostle.
There you go. There you
go.
You my grandson too. That's another one of my grandson.
That's my grandma. First off, I'm loving the situation. I'm loving what we're talking about. As far as being single, you got to come with it. This is my grandma, so I ain't settling for this. So,
boy,
she ain't going for it. I ain't going for it.
I don't think they can see you, baby. I don't think they can see him. They need to see this handsome young man talking. There you go.
How's everybody doing? Yeah, this is my first time being on the talk show. I'm a little nervous, but this is my grandma, so I'm getting comfortable.
There you go. So what would you tell young men of your age, first about God, then about a relationship? How could you encourage them?
First off, to get a relationship with God, first of all, you got to get a relationship with your apostle first. Start there first. That's the number one key. And then after that, everything else will come. Everything else, like you said, everything else line in place. But first, you got to start off with getting yourself first.
Yeah. I like
everything
that.
else, gonna fall in.
That's what Little Amos was saying. You saying first chapter what? What would you tell him? Like what he just said. Say it again.
You have to work on yourself first.
Yeah, how about that? I like that. I like that. What would you say, grandson?
You're right. You gotta work on yourself first. Gotta make sure yourself in order.
Being a young man like ourselves, we still young. We learning. We growing. And I'm still gleaning. I'm still learning. So I ain't perfect. As a young man myself, I ain't perfect. I'm still learning. So, and I still want to grow in it. So
yeah. So one of the things that I offer here on Sunday morning is 9 o'clock prayer. Just like we're here freely talking about sex and romance, I offer first 9 o'clock prayer. Spend time with God from 9 o'clock at least to 9:15, 9:30. Right. When we come up out of 9 o'clock prayer, we immediately goes into what, y'all?
Meditation.
Say it.
Meditation.
What does meditation do for you, Levi? I want y'all to hear. See, you heard us talk about sex. You heard us talk about romance. You heard us talk about making love. You heard them talking about the videos that I brought in the bedroom. But you need to hear my teachings now of what I do on the apostolic godly side. There's two sides of this thing. I love God first, but I've got to raise up a generation. If I believe that I am one of the black women that God has called,
that's right.
Amen, to raise up a generation of black men. All black men ain't in jail. All black men ain't stupid and out there selling crack and on heroin and cocaine. Do y'all hear me? I am here educating these black men and teaching them how to appreciate our women.
That's right.
Y'all better hear me out here.
Yes.
This is what I believe. So I'm setting structure. An apostle is governmental. We are structured and we give governmental orders and governmental structure. We are builders and we are domain. We're very dominant. We're very dominant. Once we put our clinches on it, we don't let the grip go. Because I believe what God says. Listen, Levi, what do you think? Well, how would you do it as far as being a Christian and then loving women? How would you separate that?
Well, when I'm being a Christian is a lifestyle. It's just how I live. I'm gonna live loving people because that's what being Christ-like is. Christ loved everybody.
Yes.
No matter what happens, no matter what went down between him and another individual, he yet loved that individual.
Yes.
And we have to exemplify that in our lifestyle. So when it comes down to a lady in my life, I'm looking for someone who does the same. Someone who's going to love somebody, whether you know them or not, just because that's what we are to do as Christians. And someone that I'm looking for to be compatible with, I have to be able to be on the same level as that individual. Now, so that's where the meditation comes in.
Talk about
that you were talking about a minute ago. You asked what meditation does. Well, meditation to me enables me to shift my paradigm.
Hey, yes.
My paradigm is my subconscious mind.
Yes.
The things in my subconscious mind are habits that have formed over the years, things that I do without thinking.
Yes.
That's what the subconscious is.
Yes.
So meditation enables me to get down into the subconscious of my mind and shift that paradigm. It enables me to shift myself to a new place by replacing bad habits with good habits.
Good habits, yeah. Taking the negative out.
Take the negative
and
out
adding the what?
Put the positive
Put the
in.
positive in.
I can take a bad habit out of me, but if I don't replace it with a good habit,
With a good habit.
another bad habit starts.
Yes.
See, I can use you're all right. I can use an example. You got somebody who's an alcoholic, and he goes into a bar every day and he drinks every day. And all of a sudden he looks around and he realizes everybody in the bar is a bum.
Yes.
And they're here every day. He sees them every day. So they're bummed. He said, wait a minute, that makes me a bum.
That's
So he
exactly.
decides, I'm gonna stop drinking. Well, if he leaves and stops drinking, yeah, he's good. He's doing good. But if he goes down to the racetrack and he starts to bet all his money on horses, he's just replaced a bad habit with another bad habit.
Wow.
He used to make the bartender rich. Now he's making the horses fat by feeding them. Or he's making the horse owners rich by betting all his money.
Wow.
So if you don't replace that bad habit with a good habit, you never shift the paradigm. You can never get to the next level. And I look for a woman who's doing the same thing. I look for a woman who's got a plan for her life. Outside of being saved and in church, that's great, that's wonderful. But I look for a woman who's got a plan that she's focused on. She's like a ship that has a destination. She's trying to get to this point in life where she's a multimillionaire or she's making $500,000 a year or whatever it is. And she's after that and she's focused on that one goal.
Wow.
And that enables me to say, okay, I can get with this individual because this individual has a purpose for their life.
That's what I
individually.
said, that purpose. It has to be purpose. Listen, hit like. I need 10 of you all that's watching me now. Hit share. Take your phones. Y'all have phones? Hit share and let folks know. This is very interesting to me.
Yes.
You know, and then to hear the heart of a man in the cave. See, you all are in the cave. We brought it in the cave again. And we're hearing the heart of the men and how they really think. And matter of fact, the men sound to me like they got it more together than no women did that I took in the cave. My God, women, y'all better watch out. Men talk.
And you know, Pastor, one of the things I want to say, because I frequently does the meditation. If you know me, and if you know me, I'm pretty straightforward. Meditation is on Sunday at the Wisdom Center at 10 a.m. every Sunday with my favorite, one of my greatest sister-in-laws. Her name is Sister Joyce Powell, Wanda Joyce Powell. She is amazing. She comes in and I never thought.
Yeah, but you was the one told me.
I never thought it'd work.
No. What you told me?
I said it. I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in that.
I ain't
Say what
doing
you
it.
said.
I'm telling you,
He wouldn't come.
She said, son, I want you to come in there. I said, I don't believe that. That mess don't work on me. That'll come on. So I actually started coming, and I'm like, man, the last time I did it was like, now I want to piggyback on something Levi said. For me, the bar is raised higher as an apostle's son. Because we have our mother, being that's my mother, and also an apostle's son. Because she has embedded in us since we was little kids, what to look for in a woman. What did this, don't do this. She told me when I was 14 one time, she came home, and I had this girl sitting in her house. And she come here, Shay Shay. She comes to call me in the room. I go in the room, and she says, you see that girl shoes? I said, no, ma'am. I'm 14. She said, her feet dirty. She says, your son, if you know if her feet dirty, she probably stink. And I never will forget it. So if y'all would know what feet finish got. So when we, as far as meeting a woman like that, now at the age I am now, I know to look for. But we had, and I do have I've had a 49-year advantage. That lady.
Talk.
That lady.
Real talk.
So I'm gonna let somebody else have the floor.
I know, but it is real talk.
It is.
Because this is what I said. You was 14.
I was 14.
And I taught y'all then to look at their feet. I taught y'all when you first walk in the house, if roaches are crawling. Shay went to a girl house one night. And when they turned the lights on, I think you wasn't even 20 then.
I wasn't.
And roaches was all over the
Hey,
wall.
we never lived like that. I left kids in the house. My mama had 8 boys, 2 girls. We didn't keep a crumb on my mama.
No, ma'am. And toilets had to be flushed and clean.
How we clean it with our hands, don't brush.
See, this is stuff folk ain't never heard. What
But I don't have my house right now because my boss don't have it. My mama don't have a mop. But we walk my mama floor on our hands, knees.
with a towel.
Huh?
That's how my mom raised us.
That's all.
People don't do that anymore though.
Because
But-
stand them up. Because they
No.
stink all the time.
But no, it ain't the stinking. You want the cracks. And so what the rag does when they're on their knees, they can get all of the spots. The mop just splashes it from side to side. But I taught my children, what I was instilling in my boys then was how to become real men, how to be survivors and how to be providers. I was telling Elvis the other day, I said, Shay is a born hustler because he's been doing this so long. But I taught him how to do this and
Early.
yeah, you know. So, but you all are looking at experience. This is why I don't worry about my boys surviving. I worry about who they bring to me and their last survivorship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they will bring something to me and see if I tell you to run, they need to run. And when you wake up with a woman, she sleeps in the bed all day. She wakes up and not concerned about your bedroom and certain things. You know that's not your life mate.
No way.
If she leave her panties in the floor, in the bathroom or in your bedroom on the floor, you need to run.
Right.
Now you all don't think this happens.
Hey, boy.
She can be speaking in tongues, baptized in the water
That ain't no
in
good.
Jesus'
That ain't
name.
no good.
That has nothing to do with the natural effects of that woman and how she is. You have to understand it. But if she left them like that with you, she left them like that with the last guy.
My mama told me all this, and I bucked. I can't forget the break. So you know what you're talking about. I got this, mama. I got this. Man, I ain't gonna fuck.
It tells you, watch a woman's car, how many clothes she got in it, how many cups, spoons, and forks in her stockings, her pantyhose. You got to watch all of this to know if that's your twin flame. There's so many things. And women, I know it's a lot of you all that's listening, but you need to take notes.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Amen.
She said we have questions.
Quite, I know. Quite. What would you like to say to, how old are you?
19.
19. What would you like to say to a young man that's watching?
As you said, you gotta watch for the signs and make sure you're just not falling for anything. Because you fall for anything, it's not where you want to be.
Now, what do you love about God?
I love the fact that
Tell me your experience.
like we used to, at a point, we used to stay in a hotel because our house burnt down.
Mm-hmm.
And now we stay in a 4-bedroom house and we don't pay rent or nothing. And that's because of God. He put us in a position to not be in the neighborhood where I came from and stuff like that.
Yeah. So how long you been here with me?
I've been here for almost a year.
All right. How you feel about it?
It's good.
It's good. What have you learned? What have you learned?
Prayer and meditation.
Oh,
You learned what?
pray and meditate. It helps, man. It helps.
I'm telling you, it works on that mind.
Because at first we wasn't coming early
Right.
for the meditation.
Right.
And then we came for the meditation. It was like everything just be more cool and it's more collect.
Wow, see, he's bringing that 21st century word.
And listen, people,
It's
this
more
ain't
love.
advertisement. This ain't advertisement. We're not here advertising for our ministry. We really, my mother really want to reach you. Meditation and prayer works. Meditation and prayer works for a Negro like me. If it worked for me, listen, I'm not getting paid. I'm here on my own volunteer. She asked me to come. I'm not here to get, this is not an advertisement. There's no, I know it works here at the Wisdom Center. Fairfield, 720 Glen Street. It works here in Fairfield, Georgia. Sunday morning at 10:30, call for 10 o'clock.
Call my head.
Meditation is at
9:30. Yeah, we pray from 9 to 9:30. At 9:30 to 10 o'clock, we go to meditation.
And then we have affirmation.
And if it don't work, I'm gonna buy you breakfast. If you don't feel I'll buy you breakfast. Finish y'all come.
Yeah, and then we do the affirmation.
Right.
I am
I am.
strong.
Yeah.
I am wealthy.
We are wealthy.
I am healthy.
Yes.
I am prosperous. I am wise. I am successful. We do the
We
affirmation.
do it.
And that's what's making these men able to sit up here like this tonight.
Yes.
Because of the grace of God. We have found favor in the sight of God
Lord
with
have mercy.
meditation, prayer, meditation, affirmations. I am healed.
Yes.
By his stripes,
Hey,
I am healed. Aaron, you never had no music lessons,
Never.
but you got on the organ
Yes, ma'am.
and been playing ever
Ever
since.
since.
It'll work. We're not, but like you say, we're not even here about the church. We was here about my a real talk for real people,
Yeah.
It's real.
a real situation.
Every day.
So it's really, really, really real. Run Dad, what you like to say?
I'm loving it. I love the topic. I want to share an experience that how I knew God. So Apostle taught us, I'm gonna say back in 2013, I believe God.
I believe
She
that's
always
right.
taught us,
That's
I
all good.
believe God.
2013.
So one day, I was in high school, it was time to graduate. And my teacher told me, if I don't take the test then, I'm not gonna graduate with high school students. So Apostle said, it's gonna be all right. So me thinking, I'm like, well, I can't think like that because the Apostle said I believe God. So once I said I believe God, I mean, immediately it ain't, but we had ended up going to Florida because, we had a church service going to Florida. And I came back. When I came back, they was like, you ain't able to take your test. But once I walked out that class and I said, I believe God.
Yes, sir.
I said, I believe God. 13 minutes, I'm gonna say like 13, 14 minutes later, they called me back and said, you're able to take your test and say, graduate with a high school student. Oh,
Sure did.
thank you, God.
Yes, sir.
Apostle said it's gonna be all right. Apostle said, son, you're gonna be all right. And I declared, I believe God. I just wanted
So
to-
what you're saying now, your testimony is what?
I believe God.
I believe God.
I believe God. As a young man myself, I believe God.
She told me when I was facing life, I had 2 life sentences. It was actually life. And my little brother was in court with me, and my mama, I was crying in the courtroom. I didn't know what to do. I called my mother on the phone. I remember talking to her. She said, son, I want you to walk around that jailhouse and you say, the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. And I don't want to be in this place. And I kept saying it so much. I said it to the prosecutor. I was saying it to him so much. He ended up saying to me, I said the same God you said.
The prosecutor.
Listen to me. He went from 7 years, he went from 25 years, he went from life to 25, I was down the cell. It's just so much we can't cover that because I know we're supposed to be talking about having fun and being young men and hanging out.
No, but they need to know the Christian side of it.
Oh, well, because one thing we love God.
What we gave them in the beginning was the thug side.
Yeah.
So, the love making, they need to know now that you have a relationship.
Our major relationship.
Yeah,
right?
they need to know that you are, because I teach more than sex.
Right.
I talked about romance, making love,
Yes.
but they need to know now that I teach more than that.
Definitely.
And because there are audience that have questioned my integrity and my loyalty to the kingdom and to my knowledge of the Bible.
No.
David said, this word, I know this, have I hid in my heart
Go ahead.
that I might not sin against God. I don't have a thought of just sinning against God. I don't willfully do things.
Right.
Some things sometimes happen, but I love God.
Yes.
At the end of the day, when I finish telling you how to make love, how to do romance, how to screw your wife, how to screw your fiance, I can tell you to screw your fiance. Now there goes be some say you don't do that. Listen, you better do it. That's coming from the Queen of Love. Don't marry no woman and don't know nothing. But you are not Jacob. You are not Jacob and Leah.
What is it?
2,000 years back. You see how they trick Jacob. Yeah, you better try it. Mr. Ward, you said I have some questions.
Okay, Dr. Seymour, this question is for you. Ready?
Yeah.
What does it mean if a man is emotional or sensitive?
It means that he's very, very weak. And it's the hardest thing to deal with is a man that reacts out of his emotion. Emotions was given to the women. So when God took the heart out of Adam, he took the emotions out of Adam. When he took the womb out of Adam and put it into Eve, he gave us the womb, the natural womb, but he left Adam with a spiritual womb. He took the emotions out of Adam and gave them to us. So now that's why we are emotional beings.
Ooh.
That's it.
You my mama? You so good.
I'm an ex-crackhead.
What?
See, they don't know that, but I did crack 5.5 years.
And I'm next crack dealer. And
She's
still my rocks and smoke.
So
Now she's a multi-millionaire. And then my mama. She is.
Only Shay would have said that.
She is.
But I used to steal this Negro crack and act like I ain't
They
stolen.
get me beat up in the projects when I go back to the project. But I ain't know where it was at. I thought I had gambling away.
See, folks don't believe that
She
I was
found my
doing
stash. She found my stash.
I steal it every time. Couldn't wait till
How
he
did you
leave.
find it?
You know, you can smell crack. You
No, you couldn't smell it.
Yeah, no.
You smelled it because you were smoking.
Yeah, but I smoked. I wait till you leave. You couldn't leave home fast enough for me to get in that garage. Boy, I go get me a pack of cigarettes, make some smoke, get some ashes.
And I never
put 'em on
smelled
the
it.
can, I know.
She had integrity as a crackhead, y'all.
Oh yeah. Nobody knew I was a crack.
Do y'all know? I promise you, if I can share this with my mama, she is my boss. I didn't know my mama was smoking crack, y'all. The first real fight I had in my life, I was shooting craps in the middle of the cat said, with your crackhead ass man. Excuse me, Lord. So what? You know, I busted here with a brick, but I was like, and then what's the mama? So I'm gonna, because the house would never let go. The house stayed immaculate. And all the time she been smoking out for 5 years. She had the cougar, remember you had the cougar in?
Yeah, with 10 kids
The
on
10
the
kids on the tag. Oh.
I've had an experience.
Absolutely.
That's why women and those of you that's listening, I have something to say. That's why I can help your marriage, your relationship. If you will listen, you don't find this too often, a mother that can come on with grandkids, sons, and spiritual sons, voicing back there on me 20-some odd years. These are not men that just woke up one day and decided to follow me. We are a ministry of experience. Give me 1 or 2 more questions.
Okay, the next question is for Mr. Shea. What is a ladies' man?
Wow.
Well, Mr. Shea gonna answer that. Mr. Shea's definitely. Well, I'm a ladies' man.
Go ahead.
See, I'm a ladies' man because I'm gonna take my woman out to somewhere nice. I'm gonna take her to a 5-star restaurant. I'm gonna make sure she's well dressed. I'm gonna take care of her nails and her toes. I'm gonna buy her some clothes. I'm gonna buy her some jewelry. I'm gonna love on her and I'm gonna put her up. And if she don't act right, I'm gonna get another one. And then I'm gonna get another one until I get the one I want. That's a ladies' man to me. Now, my boss may say different, but a ladies' man, I always got a lady.
I think a ladies' man begin with a conversation.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk.
No. You have to talk in the beginning to know the heart of that individual. If there's no conversation, there's no communication. You can have communication and never no conversation, but you can never have conversation without communication. And so what has happened in relationships, there's no conversation. So you say, well, I thought you meant that, and I thought you meant that. That's because there was no communication. But when we're conversating, you ain't got to thought what I was meaning, because we're conversating and you understand. So conversation is, this is where we're going, and this is how we're going to do this. First of all, you know that I'm saved, you know that I'm sanctified, you know that I'm holy, you know I ain't going, there are certain things I don't do. There are certain qualities about me. There are certain languages that I prefer not to be around. There are certain people that I don't keep. There's a certain group of women I don't be with. There's a certain group of men that I prefer you not to be with. Now let's come to some understanding. So we brought conversation. But I did that with my husband.
Remember, that's that real talk you gave me on the phone like a week ago. And I told you, I said, that's the first time you had ever talked about with me like that.
Okay, you did tell me.
But you talk about that, besides being on air, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's real talk.
So you need to do that. You need to do that for me. Like, because
You've never been in my husbands and wives meetings.
But that's
No. Listen, audience, I know we gotta go. When Shay had a wife here, Shay told me he did not want his wife, what?
I don't want to listen to that mess you talk.
Say it again, Spell.
I said, I don't want to listen to that mess you talk.
You said that with your first wife.
And she gone.
And she gone. You said it with your second wife.
And she gone.
I was grooming those women.
That was a whole buck now.
And he didn't want them to know certain sides and lifestyle of him. What I do, I bring truth, whether it's my husband or my son.
Absolutely true.
I bring
Absolutely.
truth. The truth is what makes you free. So, and I identify with conversations. And if you don't have conversation, if you're not having a conversation, the girl said, well, my mama is handicapped, and you know, I have to be there for my mother. Let's conversate. What part of that can I play with you? He says, my mama's in ministry. Hey, I think I need that. I've never been introduced to this. So let me meet the family and see, let me have a choice. Yes. But there has to be a conversation.
If I could close one thing, I just want to tell any of y'all brothers out there that's been like Shay, you've been to prison, you know, you've been a street guy, and you want to try to work your way in. If you don't know God or whatever, if you here in this Georgia area, y'all come meet me stay. Yeah. Cause there's no judgment here. You ain't got to worry about holding your tongue in or worry about how she's going to. She received me. She's never given up on me. And you talking about a robber, a stealer, a killer? I done did everything you can think of. She has never. She don't understand anything. You got to remember, she was a robber, a hustler, all that stuff. I've just been the son that she passed it on to. So don't be afraid. If you want to get to know God, start somewhere where somebody can be able to understand you.
Oh God.
Yeah, somebody that ain't gonna judge you, somebody gonna embrace you. Somebody gonna be able to relate to you and not look at you. We don't do that here.
No.
We don't do that here. And Apostle, I apologize. I know we're not pointing. I wanted to put that here, my boy. Because I know there's a lot of cats out there like me that was lost. We didn't know God. We didn't know how good God can be to us. But I'm almost 50 years old now. When they said I wouldn't live to see 16 because of her prayers. I believe it was nothing I did. I believe I am a walking grace of God because of her love for God. My mom been saved since 1974. And I was born in 72. So you do the math. You know, so I just want to say, if you're out there, you hear us, y'all come meet Apostle Seymour. Not just my mom. I don't just believe in her as my mother. I believe in the life that she shares in her. You know, and we stay here as family. We all blood family up here. You might be white, that's our brother too. We love
you. You white.
Yes, ma'am.
You white.
Well, I'm actually 1/4 Iroquois Indian.
You ain't no Iroquois.
I'm asking you, are you white?
Yes, I'm white.
No, you're not. This paper is white and black.
Oh, really? You know, I love what you
Did
said. He was talking about I don't know my thought now. But I wanted to expound a little on why I'm here with you. And what I saw when I first visited you in 2000, before I came, was a vision being lived amongst a totally different people than the people I grew up with who were living that vision. And it showed me that God's vision can be lived in different places in the world.
Wasn't limited.
Right, it's not limited to one group of people.
Yes.
But he has the same vision in many different groups of people all over the world. And that same vision is what grounded me with you.
Wow.
And it wasn't an individual, it wasn't how you treated me or how someone else treated me or how I felt about one person or another, but it was the fact that I saw the potential in the vision because I grew up in the vision as amongst multimillionaires living that vision. And I know what this vision can become. So
see, they don't know what you mean when you say you're talking about me taking in homeless women, buying homes and making sure women taking the women off the streets.
Trina went up there.
And yeah,
went up there, took a bus, went up there.
Brought a bus load.
In 2005, Trina brought all the people back
from New Orleans. Yeah, but Levi saw me I would buy properties, and we would go in and fix it up so that we could take homeless women off the streets, crack cocaine and children. There's a lot of things that we're doing now in Georgia. Folk don't know anything about it. You know, I do homeless women and women that I go under the bridge. You know, I go under the bridge.
No question.
I don't question that. And I know how to dress for the bridge.
Right.
You know, how to dress and go feed the people. I go straight to them. I don't wait until they come to me. But that's another show. But I thank you, Levi. These are the things they don't know because they hear me talk about sex.
Right.
But they don't know my heart. But my heart is to save the soul. If you can save, reach the heart,
Save the soul.
you can save the soul.
You've been telling us that all life.
Every time. Let me reach your heart. Let me get to where you are. before I talk about your hair, let me take you and get your hair fixed.
Right.
Before I take you about talk about your clothes, I'm going to take you shopping and buy you enough clothes to last you for a month.
That's right.
Now I can
Amen.
talk about your clothing because you're not wearing what I bought you.
Right.
That's the hardest I can see. But I think, how many, anybody else before we go? Tilsa, do I have another question?
Yeah, just one more question. Mr. Aaron.
Well,
what is
Mr. Aaron,
Yes. What is a classy
you
lady?
got to really speak loud.
What is a classy lady? So in other words, the way that she dressed, her hair, her perfume,
Oh,
in your opinion.
Classy lady. Wow.
To you,
Wonderful.
what is a classy lady?
Classy lady. My idea is classy lady. You know, it's first, you know, what my mom been teaching us for ages. A woman with integrity.
Yeah.
And integrity. And it seems like from that word alone, everything flows from that. You know, her promptness, you know what I'm saying? You know, even with, you know, when it comes to her attire, grooming, all that. That's my idea. It's classic. You know, and it ain't gotta be, you know, because everybody, when it comes to having their stuff together, it ain't always gonna be, just have that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not there yet, still have that mindset. Well, you got goals, and I'm trying to reach you. I'm trying to get here. You know, and I know,
Effort.
effort. That's it. That's all it takes. It's just not like some hard on. I think she got to be everything like this. No, just as long as you know that's something you're looking forward to. That's something you believe, you know, believe in build. But when it comes to that again, I love this. I'm just so with this word, take it in what it means. And that's my idea as a classic.
Integrity is so important.
Yes, very much so.
But integrity, Aaron, works from the inside out.
Yes.
And sometimes we can't be what we're not on the inside. So as much as you're longing for me to have integrity, it's not on the inside. So,
I love it.
so no matter how much you try to mold me into that, I just don't have integrity. So I cannot be that woman of substance.
So I can't put on an integrity pair of pants, and integrity pair of shirt, and have integrity. It has to come from the inside.
That's why, see, John F. Kennedy, I don't care what nobody say, he liked him to Marilyn Monroe. But you could see it from the outside. Yeah. And I mean, and this was a woman of integrity, but she was classy.
Yes.
From inner out. So she knew who she was. Now watch this. Michelle Obama is an integrity woman, a classy woman full of integrity. A classy woman. So when she told Obama, I don't care where you go after you make presidents of these United States, I want you here every evening at 6 o'clock. She stood for what she meant, and she meant what she stood on.
And don't be deceived, because you got some women that look the part.
Yeah.
That happened 1,000 times. They look the part. I mean, you know, everything.
They can't fool me though.
Right.
So I refer to mama. I told mama. A lot of people take on that title classy, and y'all might be classy, but I don't refer to myself as classy. I'm first class. This is first class. So if y'all want to be classy, that's secondary. This is first class. I'm first class. We are first class people. We think first class. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, teachers on. I love me a classy lady. I love me a classy lady.
If you find a classy lady, you find a sassy lady.
Ooh, I like a sassy lady.
Yeah. If she's classy,
She's sassy.
she's sassy.
And I like a sassy
That was
lady.
what moved John F. Kennedy. And he didn't leave her alone. She was classy and sassy. So she knew what to say, when to do it,
Very
and she
well.
watch this. Because of her integrity, she did not bring exposure to herself.
So, girl.
That's how you know what you're involved in. I watch a woman. I told my husband, if he was in here, he's out there cooking chicken for tonight. I watch a woman, their neatness when they walk out of the house. I told everything. I'm very peculiar about their neatness when they walk out of a house. I gotta do everything about them match their neatness that they had when they walk out of the house. It just, and maybe that's just, I'm an OG. So, but I know we gotta go. Is there any more questions? And we don't want to bore the people. But what you can do, all of you all that watched us tonight, you can still hit like, you can hit share, and just keep liking and keep sharing. Call some of your friends and tell them Dee Dee got her boys on. Call Faye Pollock, you know, Angela Young. And I got some friends out there, and Amanda Wright. I got some friends in Florida. What her name? Florensburg, Rita Grover. Name some of them.
And y'all asked for her to come back. Y'all asked for us to come back again. Asked for her to come back, but y'all specifically asked for Shay Shay. She might pay me next time.
I didn't ask you all for no cash app though.
You showed
I
that.
didn't. I'm trying to
But
show
you're not a
you.
beggar though.
Because, no, it's not about the money. It is about me bringing change
Yes.
to our
Yes.
community.
Yes.
You know, if I can reach your heart, you'll sow a seed anyway, whether I ask for it or not.
That's right.
If we're helping you all, if we get enough likes and shares, I might bring them back next week. Listen, until next week, my husband is out in the back, has the grill going. For the last 3 weeks, he's been doing the grill, preparing food and everything, so that everybody, he got some meat going on the grill. You know, he loves meat.
Yeah. Me too.
So I love you all of our followers and those that was following us tonight. We pray that we have inspired you, even if you're not married, to get yourself together and let's talk some more. Until next Monday at 8 o'clock, we thank God for you. Men, tell them hi. Bye.
See y'all later.
All right.